authorities over a soldier who is believed to be in the North Korean custody and running across the border between North and South Korea. Now, the man is identified as Travis King and is a private second class and came from a detention center in South Korea.
So he was scheduled to fly back to the United States to face military discipline when he joined a tour group and then ran across the demilitarized zone. It's just bizarre. I mean, if it's bad enough that you're going to be engaged in military discipline, but you'd rather do it in North Korea?
I don't know why you would rather be like disciplined by the North Koreans instead of
right. At least we have humane due process here, but hey, he did what he did. So here to weigh in is retired Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer and retired Air Force Special Operations Commander Glenn Ignazio. So, Colonel Shaffer, I'll start with you. So North Korea, they've been silent, all right, about their detainment of King. Do you think that the White House is going to be able to speak to Kim Jong-un and make a deal? I mean, I got to be honest, he's a private, probably has no information. He's the one that ran across the border willingly. I'd probably leave him there. But if there was a deal to be made, could President Biden even engage Kim Jong-un?
Well, I think the question is, would there be benefit to engagement? I don't think so. And this is where, remember, President Trump had the courage. I've been to the Joint Security Area, Michael, and it's a very dangerous place. You go mucking around, crossing that international line, people do die. And I'm not joking. It's a history of it. So at this point, because this guy, as you point out, is very low level, there's no indication he had any classified information or information of relevance. I think he's a boneheaded kid who made a really stupid decision to go into a place he shouldn't be. And I just don't think the Bidens are going to do anything. That right now, Michael, they don't want to engage North Korea. That's why North Korea is also engaging in this nuclear gamesmanship regarding missiles and long-range launching. So I just don't think they're going to do anything at this point.
Commander Ignazio, good morning. Now, when you watch this U.S. soldier do this, who is already in trouble with the U.S. military, what could have been his mindset for doing this, from going to North Korea instead? And how could this change people's views of the U.S. military internationally?
Yeah, I mean, the situation is boggling. Why would you want to go to North Korea? You know, it was reported that he has made statements he didn't want to return to post and didn't want to return to America. And that's because he was facing these particular charges. He was already charged for assault in South Korea. But the idea of running across the border and doing something this is again, it's mind boggling because they're going to interrogate him because he's crossing into a country illegally. They're going to figure out if he is an actual spy or if he's just a dumbheaded kid that did this. So he's facing a lot of things, including horrible conditions in North Korea. I don't think he has a clue of what he walked into. And so he's going to be facing a lot of challenges. And the last thing he wants to do is probably stay in North Korea.
It's such a silly move.
Commander just said it. Clueless. I mean, it's beyond a stupid move.
He looks so young as well,
I get it,
which is really sad.
You're private in the military. You have to know North Korea's got to be one of the worst places in the world for a U.S. soldier to go.
I don't think you even need to be in the military to know that.
Yeah, exactly. So, Colonel, I'll go back to you. You've been mentioning before, this isn't the only thing happening in North Korea. North Korea said that the deployment of the U.S. aircraft carrier bombers or missile submarines in South Korea could meet their criteria, listen to this, for use of nuclear weapons. Now, this was aimed, obviously, at the nuclear-armed submarine, the USS Kentucky, which arrived in South Korea earlier this week. The South Korea says the submarine is there for defensive countermeasures. But are we, in your opinion, do you think we're provoking North Korea with these weapons?
So, Michael, we've gone back and had exercises with the South Koreans all throughout the Cold War, ever since the armistice was signed. And remember, we are still at a state of war with North Korea. There's an armistice. That means there's a pause. So this bellicose language is nothing new. I deployed there. I've ran some operations into North Korea. We're always trying to figure out what they're really thinking. In this case, again, I think that this is little rocket man, looking for attention, trying to basically push back against what we do to work rationally with the South Korean counterparts and with the Japanese. The Japanese are concerned about this as well. So this is nothing new. What may be new is the fact that the engagement that started under the Trump administration has been completely abandoned by the Bidens. And I think there was a path. I mean, Michael, basically Trump was trying to talk down to get him to consider joining the Western world for the benefits that would offer. And I think that's all off the table. And so they're back to being provocative at this point.
Commander, we've got 30 seconds left. I just want to quickly get your take on this, because we want to talk about China's role in all of this. Overnight, Taiwan's defense ministry said they sent 37 fighter jets and bombers towards Taiwan. Now, this just days before Taiwan plans to hold its own military exercises. The US, South Korea, Taiwan and China are all ramping up their military presence in the region. So do you think that this situation will de-escalate, or is it just going to continue to worsen?
Unfortunately, with what just happened, it's definitely going to increase the tension that's going on over there. You know, we have that presence in South Korea. We have North Korea launching missiles, as we talked about, and then everything going on between China and Taiwan. So that whole area is just a cauldron right now with everything happening.
Yeah.
And we've seen the exercise of China with aircraft and ships surrounding it. It seems like they are telling the Chinese to prepare for war. Xi is telling them to get ready and train as if you are in combat and to be ready to go to combat.
Yeah,
so, yes.
things are imminent. Well, Colonel Tony Shaffer, Commander Glenn Ignazio, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.